Peacekeepers in Bosnia. The British Army has been here for more than a decade through one of the bloodiest civil wars of the last century. They are part of the multinational NATO force, SFOR. Their job, to stop a new outbreak of war. Every 6 months, a fresh regiment arrives. For the first time, the British Army has allowed cameras to follow its Bosnian peacekeepers in action. Today, the Light Dragoons are trying to trace a Serbian war criminal.
I will release my dog! Stavili puštam psa!
Guarding the British base, the dogs that kill, and chips with everything, catering for the British Army in Bosnia. One of the key tasks of the army here is intelligence gathering, talking to as many people as possible on the ground. Intelligence work is mainly the job of small teams of soldiers based away from the main base in troop houses, like C Squadron of the Light Dragoons.
Right, as you know, Dickie, lean from here, one road to Orahova, get to Orahova, we'll park up in that square, it's on the left-hand side, it's like a bit of a waste ground, with that small little crappy cafe there. We'll just park up there, wander up and see that Serb shopkeeper.
Sure, where are you actually going today?
We're going to Orahova, it's a Muslim village to the west of this area.
And what about the area in general around here? How would you say it was?
Well, for threats against SFOR and threats against a safe, secure environment, there's none of that sort of thing, but there is a lot of criminality. So people get stabbed, there might be shootings and things, or shooting into the air, but it's all to do with criminals and gangs. It's a present patrol in the town to show them our presence, and we're still here, make sure everyone's happy, build the confidence with the SFOR that it's already got, and just to maintain that confidence. And we've got a few contacts in the town, people who like talking to us. We'll just find out if they've got any problems, any little snippets they need to tell us information-wise.
Today, the Light Dragoons in their scimitar tanks are off to the village of Orahova, where they've been told there's a Serbian shop assistant who has the same name as a police officer who is wanted for war crimes. The area they drive through is predominantly Muslim. There was considerable fighting here during the Civil War, and many of the original residents were forced to flee. A few Serbs still remain in the area. For the men of the Light Dragoons, this is their patch, and it's their job to know absolutely everything that's going on. As they arrive in Orahova, they head straight for one of the shops, where they've been told the man they're looking for works part-time. Banja Luka in northern Bosnia, the main base for the British peacekeepers. It also houses the other contingents of SFOR, Canadian and Dutch soldiers. Guarding the base against unwanted intruders is the job of the British troops and their specially trained attack dogs.
SFOR! Halt! Or I will release my dog!
Boss is one of 12 highly trained dogs on the base.
Good lad, good lad, good lad, go on, Chico.
Some are sniffer dogs for hunting explosives, but Boss, a Rottweiler, is one of the security dogs. At night, they patrol the base with their handlers. To keep them at a high state of readiness, they're constantly trained on base by the Army's specialist dog handling unit.
Stand still! Leave! Bosco! Bosco, heel, boss.
That's stand still, leave, and I would arrest him for whichever offence he's committing. And then I would search him. Maybe he's got a weapon, I would search him then, see if he's carrying a weapon. And then I would escort him back to the guard room so that we can deal with him properly, and treat any injuries he might have.
Our job is to patrol the perimeters of the fence around the camp, and that is where mainly the intruders will, possibly come over the fence. So our job is to ensure that they don't.
Why would they be intruding?
Well, they there's all sorts of reasons. They pinch fuel, ammunition, just food, anything they can really get their hands on. Parts for cars, parts for vehicles, anything.
Back in Orahova, the Light Dragoons are trying to trace a Serbian war criminal. He has the same name as this shopkeeper's assistant.
Ruku manjina ovdje sad.
Do you get any problems as a Serb?
Da li vi imate ikakav problem kao Srbin u, recimo, muslimanskom mjestu?
Ja sam tu rođen, nisam imao problema. Niti ko imao sa mnom od muslimana.
So he knows all the people from this village, so he has never had a problem with the Muslims, and he has never had a problem because he stayed in this village.
Jer mi se znamo svi.
Because they know each other.
Yeah, good.
And it's like friends.
Ne samo mene, znaju mog oca, djeda, možda i pradjeda.
They don't even know, they do know him, but they know also his father, his grandfather, so generations living in this village. Se niko u Esforu nije žalio iz Orahove.
But headquarters want us to ask these questions.
Ali isto tako njihova komanda je zamolila da pitaju ovo pitanje, da li vi možda znate. It is normal thing to ask.
So is it? All right. I'm glad you think it's normal.
Bitno je da nema problema, mislim, neki veći.
The main thing is that they don't have any really big issues or big problems out here.
Excellent. One last question before I go. Is Nenad still here?
Još jedno posljednje pitanje prije što odemo. Je li Nenad još uvijek ovdje?
Nije otišao.
No,
On radi do 2:30.
He works starting 2:30. So.
Does he work here every day?
Znači radi svaki dan ovdje.
Da.
Yeah.
Osim subote slobodan je.
Except the Saturday when he is having a day off.
Oh, that's good then.
Dobro.
Well, checked his name on his computer.
Provjerili su njegovo ime u kompjuteru, kaže. Pa.
He's got the same name as a policeman in Gradiška?
Ima isto ime i prezime kao policajac u Gradišci koji radi u Gradišci, a to nije ista osoba, on ne radi kao policajac.
Ne,
tako. No.
ne on je iz Bihaća.
He's originally born in Bihać.
Yeah, he told us that before.
A ovaj iz Gradiška, ne znam, možda ima...
From Gradiška, maybe they've got some family or...
Yeah. No, it's the same surname.
Možda se ne znaju.
Isto ime i prezime,
a to ne može.
Probably they don't know each other.
Toga ima svuda svijetu.
It happens all over the world, so...
Yes, yeah. Okay, thanks very much for that.
Hvala vam na...
Sean is reassured that the shop assistant is not the same person as the wanted man. The patrol continues. The troops will see if their local contacts have any information for them. Back at the main base, Boss, one of the 12 guard dogs, has finished his training for the day.
This dog is quality. If you go within 5 yards of him, he'll have you. Because he's so handler protective, his Boss, that if you walk within 5 yards of him, even me, and I know him very, very well, I've known him for about 8 months. If you go within 5 yards, he'll have you.
Boss's handler, Vinny, has only been working with him for 4 weeks.
He's a scary-looking dog, but I gave him a handful of food and then, bonded with him, took him out, threw his toy for him, wrestled with him, sit in his cage with him, read a book in there with him, so he gets used to me, I get used to him. And now we're, best of buddies.
I've been doing this since May. It's a really fulfilling job. I really enjoy it.
And have you done it before?
I've never done it before. No, I've never worked with dogs.
You never worked with dogs?
Never,
before May?
never worked with dogs before. I have our own at home. But it's totally different to having one that can attack and be a security side of things. Because they bark and they show the teeth and that, people think that oh, crikey, he's going to bite me. They'll bite you on the words of command. That's the training job. They work off our words of command. When we tell them to bite, they will go.
In Orahova, the intelligence gathering continues.
I don't get bored doing this because you always meet new people, and if you just try and break the ice and have a joke with them, it's quite good. But I do get bored when they ask you stupid questions, or you have to ask them stupid questions like, "Where's the Muslim enclave?" And they're all Muslims.
The soldiers have to take an interest in every aspect of town life, in case they come across anything suspicious. Sean wonders why one of the mosques is being rebuilt when the town already has 2.
If they're a crash, so they don't mind other religious or other place.
I'm not saying anything about the religion. I just wonder why there was 3 mosques for a small town.
Nije on mislio na tu stvar, nego je mislio 3 džamija, recimo toliko ljudi, pa mu se učinilo da je...
ali mi imamo ljude u dijaspori koji su ostali prilikom izbjeglištva, koji su dobili svoje status boravka u Austrija, Njemačka, Švicarska.
Who were given some sort of status of citizenship in Austria, Germany, Sweden. So
ti ljudi će se vratiti u našu
They're intending to come back in here in the future, so that's why they're building or rebuilding the mosques.
So the third mosque will cater for Muslims returning to the area now that peace has been restored. So far, the troops have found nothing unusual in Orahova, and they're pleased that they've been able to present a friendly face to the locals. After the break, the attack dog that's forgotten how to attack. And there's no such thing as a free lunch, or is there?
Considering we don't have to pay for it, it's not too bad.
Back at the British Army's main base in Bosnia, the attack dogs have finished their morning's training and it's lunchtime.
They're fed on parity with the soldiers. Their food's very nutritious. It's got steak additives.
It's lunchtime for the dog handlers too, and a chance to choose between the nutritious and the not so healthy. The British soldiers are free to mix with their Dutch and Canadian colleagues who share the base with them. The officers, though, eat separately with real knives and forks and china plates. The team of dog handlers usually sits together.
Do you always all come and eat together?
Generally, there's a section, yeah, we usually crack down here. We have a laugh. Especially when they're in the corner.
Tasty food as well, isn't it?
This is, yeah, it's quite nice.
And is it important, do you think?
Yeah, for the work that we do, yeah. We need our nourishment for the night time.
You come in here at night, so can you get a meal at night?
Yeah, it's a 24/7 cookhouse, yeah.
Sorry,
It's a 24/7 cookhouse.
so if you're out on patrol?
Yeah, you can just come in and ask for a meal. As long as you book in advance, you can come in and get one. Yeah, a hot meal.
In Orahova, the patrol continues. The troops distribute a free magazine, published by the multinational peacekeeping force, SFOR.
It's got loads of articles about technology, gadgets for the kids. It's mostly aimed at teenagers, and it's aimed at kids. But also, it gives out an S4 message of be aware of mines. It tells them about the new laws that are being implemented, because a lot of people in villages, they won't have a television, they won't know about it, and they definitely haven't seen a paper. They won't know about the new laws and things, and where they get licences for cars, all that sort of thing. They're all in this S4 magazine.
But they don't get a local paper?
Well, not people in the villages. They haven't even got electricity in the villages.
So you wouldn't say it's propaganda then, Sean?
Well, of course I won't say it's propaganda. It might be, but I wouldn't say it is. But do people take them fast?
Jel uzimaju ljudi, jel dođu?
Odnesu i djeca.
The kids especially, whenever someone comes here, they'll take them.
You have to start charging people for them.
Onda morate početi naplaćivati ovo, nema šta. Yeah, he'll take two.
Yes. You be careful, I think there's a young girl inside there.
Pazite, kaže, ima unutra mlada cura, pa...
Careful at your age.
He's not gonna look that.
Oh, that's okay, that's good then.
Onda je dobro.
Doviđenja.
Doviđenja, prijatno.
Do you like coming out on patrol?
It's better than staying in the hills. Yeah. Gets boring.
What do you get to do when you're out on patrol?
I just drive round, then we go to cafes sometimes. Just go around asking people how they're doing, what they think.
You just find things to do, like kids and that. Like this afternoon we played football and that with them, just to build relations up and stuff like that. So next time I come, they'll not be like scared of us and stuff like that. That's the main thing, really. That's what I think, anyway, myself.
We must know nearly everything there is to know, and every now and again some small nugget of information will come and it'll make the big picture a bit clearer. Excuse me, but like I say, you don't find out big masses of information on his patrols, and at the end of the day, if you didn't find out any information, at least the locals have seen us travelling around and they feel safe and secure with us here.
Back at the main base, lunch continues. The kitchens here feed 1,800 people a day, and the food bill alone is £50,000 a week. The officer in charge is Staff Sergeant Wood.
Down this end here we have the vegetable preparation area where the civilians prepare most of the vegetables throughout the day for lunch and the evening meal. We then have a salad area here where they prepare all the salads, as we put salad bars on both lunch and evening meal for all the soldiers, including low-fat salads with no actual added, just the vegetables themselves.
It's quite healthy, though.
Yeah, we try and give a healthy choice as well. There's 6 to 8 hot choices, followed by a big salad bar. There's also a sandwich bar as well, so they've got plenty to choose from.
Does everybody go for salads, or do they prefer the chips?
Winter's coming in, so it's the chips. I mean, you never stop a British soldier eating chips. But because we feed Dutch and Canadians as well, their diet's slightly different from ours. But the salads are very popular, especially, say, with the Canadians and the Dutch, and in the summertime out here. When the temperatures are up in the 40s, then most people just want a light salad for lunch.
They've got cod in batter, spaghetti bolognese, chicken stir fry, omelettes, Canadian club snacks, macaroni cheese for the vegetarians. Bit of mixture, really.
Most of the kitchen staff are Bosnians.
Was it a good job?
Yeah, it's a very good job.
Why is that?
Sorry?
Why is that? Why is it good?
Good job. Yeah, everything, because we have job,
What do you normally do?
I'm clerk. I worked before in metal factory. Yeah, but it's okay.
This is where we do the pastry, and we have a chef comes in and does a lot of pastry. We do actually buy a lot of pastries from our local baker. He produces a lot of his stuff for us, and we've actually been down ourselves and taught him and his staff a few more dishes so they can actually prepare the English type cake, the scone, the Chelsea bun that we were, the English soldier is used to. But they do turn their hands to doing cheesecakes and the normal hot and cold sweets in here. We have bottled water. We allow, in the summer it's about 6 litres per man per day. We're down to about 3 litres per man per day. But it all comes in direct from Italy in bottles for the soldiers to drink.
For the soldiers, lunchtime is a chance to unwind.
Do you enjoy the food here?
Yeah, it's quite good. Considering we don't have to pay for it, it's not too bad. It's true though. You don't pay for it, do you? And it's got a good variety. Yeah, and the salad bar is really good as well. Well, especially
do you know where the salad bar is?
Multinational food.
Do I know where the salad is? Do you?
Yeah. See? What? Okay, I'm fat, I know. Please let me go home. They kept me here for a year.
Aren't you enjoying it?
Sorry?
Aren't you enjoying it?
Yeah, I am enjoying it over here.
Yeah,
It's better than being at home.
Yeah. You're not wasting away exactly, are you?
Sorry?
You're not wasting away exactly.
No, I'm not. Thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah.
A meal time is one of the highlights of the day. Something to look forward to.
It's better than the bar, hey?
Evening meal in 5 hours' time.
The dog handlers have a problem. One of the attack dogs, Brit, has forgotten how to attack and needs retraining.
He's been brought back because his drive levels are not that high, and obviously you need a fairly, well, not aggressive dog, but you need a dog that's got high drive levels because it's a high risk area. And the reasons why we brought him back up here, or he's been brought back up here, is because we have to get that drive level back up again.
And why do you think he hasn't got it?
I don't really know. He may be setting his ways. He may be doing a set procedure around a camp, and he's not had that much chance to have a free run at an intruder. The idea is to get him up to the same standard as Boss, and slowly and surely we're getting there. Brit's actually been working with his handler Jed for roughly 14 days now, and there's still a few patchy areas what we need to tidy up, and this is probably the best way we're going to do it, and works hard away. So he's doing a patrol now. He's patrolling the areas around the ISO containers. bringing him up onto the grassy area. There's an intruder, just comes out, winds the dog up. He's issued his challenge, the dog there now. That's quite good, that, because before, you see, he's been sniffing the bushes as he's running up, so he's not been actually doing his job. We've actually got him to a level now where he's actually ignoring everything else and he's focused purely on that sleeve. You see where Boss before came straight off the sleeve, right round his handler. He's got to actually do that physically.
Leave! Boss, come. Boss, come. Heel. Boss. Heel.
And that's another step which Jed is actually working towards. And to be fair on the lad, he has worked really, really tirelessly on him. He's worked well.
Getting Brit up to speed is a matter of constant repetition, running through the drill again and again until it becomes second nature for the dog.
Stand still! Leave, Britain!
Brit's improving at the chase and capture, but he's still slow to obey his handler's commands and leave his prey. It may be that he's not yet used to his new handler, but Paul is confident that he'll get the hang of it.
He's done brilliantly today. He's done far better than I expected. But he can still get better. I think he'll be one of the best dogs here. If he keeps going the way he's going, I reckon he'll be able to scratch within a week, maybe a week and a half.
In Orahova, the patrol has ended. The war criminal they were looking for has not been found and remains in hiding somewhere in Bosnia. The troops have been reminded that intelligence gathering here doesn't always involve major discoveries. But if they're constantly on the lookout for the tiniest sign of something suspicious, trouble can often be averted. Peacekeepers in Bosnia. The British Army has been here for more than a decade through one of the bloodiest civil wars of the last century. They are part of the multinational NATO force, S4. Their job, to stop a new outbreak of war. Every 6 months, a fresh regiment arrives. For the first time, the British Army has allowed cameras to follow its Bosnian peacekeepers in action. Today, the bomb disposal team is home on the range, detonating explosives found in weapons searches. Life on tour, doing without sex.
Males aren't allowed in the female accommodation and vice versa.
And doing almost without drink.
But 2 cans is not enough. I mean, the first can doesn't even touch the sides, anybody will know.
I'm the commanding officer of the Banja Luka metal factory here in Bosnia. This is my train set.
Banja Luka base in northern Bosnia, called the metal factory because it's been built around a disused metalworks. The army leases the base from a local businessman, paying £30,000 a month for the privilege.
Because this was the only factory in and around Banja Luka area, I mean, it employed 700 people, which was quite a lot. And of course, when the war started in '92, they all left and joined their various armies, and it just ceased production. Yeah, somebody owns it and we pay him rent every month for it. I think far too much, but who am I to say how much we pay rent for? £30,000 a month rent. A lot of money. We support everybody that's in this place. We give them life support. Basically, we feed them, we clothe them, and we accommodate them. We make them better if they're ill. We look after their teeth. We give them water. We just look after their needs. Whether there's not enough yogurts for lunchtime, or the spoons are too big for supper, or breakfast finishes 1 minute early, yes, I have to sort all those problems out. You have to be a real diplomat. I call myself Ambassador Wright, and I'm also Commanding Officer Hugs and Kisses, and you have to be very diplomatic.
The Banja Luka metal factory houses 1,400 people, the multinational contingents of S4, British, Canadian and Dutch soldiers, along with a handful of German and American specialists. One of the units here is the British Explosives Ordnance Disposal Team, EOD, or Bomb Disposal for short. They have one of the most dangerous jobs in the army, to defuse bombs on site or take them away and detonate them in controlled explosions. Today they're going out to the range at Manjaca to destroy weaponry collected in recent op harvests or arms searches.
No, I suppose you kind of get used to doing EOD and you kind of become aware of exactly what you can and cannot do with it. As long as you have respect for the actual ammunition itself, you'll be fine. But most of the stuff we get out here is fairly safe. There's a lot of it. People have stored underneath their beds and in cupboards and stuff like that, and it's been there for years. And by the time you come to it, it's already pinned, it's fairly safe. Just by taking away all their weapons and explosives and everything, at the end of the day, it's just going to save lives. So if they've got nothing to throw each other and shoot each other with, there's nothing they can really do to hurt each other. So, yeah, I think what we do is an important job. It definitely needs doing.
Another job that definitely needs doing is manning the main gate.
It's been 45 minutes, we got another 50 minutes to go.
Right, so you do an hour, do you?
Yeah, and then we go on the VIP gate and we just switch off every hour.
Okay.
At the moment, it's the turn of the Canadians to do guard duty.
How long are you on for?
3 months.
All right, mate. Cheers.
You're here on gate duty for 3 months?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's all you're doing?
That's all we're doing. We've got lots of opportunities to go up to the Bosnian Croatian border, do patrols with the Welsh that are up there, and we've also had offers to go on patrols with a bunch of the Brits around this camp as well. So
you're here day in, day out for 3 months on the gate? Does it not get boring?
Terribly. Very, very boring. Very monotonous. Our job is not hard.
A convoy of 5 EOD Land Rovers has made its way to Manjaca after stopping at the ammunition bunker to pick up the boxes of explosives to be detonated. Bomb disposal is dangerous, but after years of training, getting to recognize and understand every type of explosive device, the fear goes and the force of habit kicks in.
Well, listening guys, the range brief for today. Welcome to Manjaca South Range, you've been here before. The 2 pits we'll be using I'll show you later on. The explosives area will be kept in the back of my Land Rover, and the full mooring faction stuff is in the back of Sergeant Fullerton's Land Rover. We'll get the full mooring faction stuff out first, lay it out, and I've already detailed you out into different serials. Everybody wear helmets and body armour on the range, and just to remind you that if you see anything on the range here that you don't like the look of or are unsure of, make you aware of myself, Sergeant Fullerton. This is a live range used by the VRS Army, and goodness knows what they've left down here for us.
The VRS is today's Bosnian Serb army. During the civil war here, Serb soldiers were notorious, often half-trained and indisciplined. They committed many atrocities. Today their army is smaller and, they say, better organised and controlled.
Hey Bill, are we blowing these pits at the same time?
Yeah.
It's just a combat body armour. Just gives you limited protection against sort of fragmentation if anything did go off what was down there.
Right, what's this bit? This bit
That's,
protects your heart?
yeah, that actually will protect your main organ like your heart. And the rest of it will stop sort of minor fragmentation, nothing major on it.
Yeah, I haven't done the submarine yet. Bring them out.
Have a helmet with a mine visor in the front, which will protect my face.
What is half of what's here up to about there?
Today's menu includes 39 grenades, 2 high-explosive anti-tank grenades, 1 rocket launcher, 11 mortar shells, 13 explosive blocks, and assorted rifle grenades and small arms. Sprinkle in some plastic explosive of your own, stir together, and you should brew up a nice little explosion.
So these have all just been picked up from people's houses?
Basically, yeah, most of these actually come from the pickup at the police station of the day, which is basically just where locals come along to the police station and just hand in the weapons that they have and ammunition they have. So this is just from people's houses, yeah, sheds, underneath the beds, things like that.
So not from the army, not from the...
No, these are basically what's left from the war. Basically, people just kept ammunition for themselves, etc.
The explosives have to be carefully laid in 2 pits, ready to be packed round with charges for controlled detonation from a safe distance.
Between my bag and Truby's bag. Oh.
Coming up, what happens if it doesn't go off?
If it doesn't go off, then it's going to cost me a crate, so it's in my interest for it to go off. Or else I'm going to be out sort of 20 quid.
And drinking on base, how much is enough? On the range at Manjaka, the explosives and ordnance disposal team is ready to lay the plastic explosive and fuses. Then they'll run the detonation cord, det cord in the jargon, back to the firing point a kilometre away.
All you need is a small amount to set off the actual explosive inside the actual thing, and then it'll blow from there. I think it's 6,000 metres a second or so in det cord burns at. So and all you do is connect the detonate cord into the PE4, and then that will connect up to the ring main, which will have a detonator, which will set us all off in a big one. Basically, you start with a small amount of explosive, but extremely sensitive, and it just builds up until you get to the P4, which is obviously less sensitive.
What happens if it doesn't go off?
That's when the BDO earns his money, comes back down to see what's wrong with it. Basically, if it doesn't go off, or it doesn't go off correctly, we'll wait a soak period. And then one of the BDOs will come down and just see what's happened.
BDOs are bomb disposal officers, the lucky ones who take the biggest risks.
Where does that go, Paddy, that wire?
This goes into the receiver here. This is a DRFD, it's demolition remote firing device, and this is what we use to blow our demolitions. This will be linked up till the det cord there, so the grey cord you can see running along the ground. That's the initiation point. This is the receiver. The receiver stays here at the dem. The transmitter goes with the BDO, so the firing point is just 1,000 metres away, and then you can blow the demolition from there safely.
On base, the soldiers' quarters are Spartan. Steel boxes stacked on top of each other called Korimex.
This is my place. St John's Wood, J1. Nice. Yeah, if you like. Do you really want to?
Oh, just to see what they look like inside. It's nice.
I'm going to go and tidy it up now. Well, I'm ready to pack. I'm off on 96-hour pass on Friday. Going off to see my wife and children in UK and the rest of the family. This is my coronet. Got a desk, got a bed, my television, cupboard, alarm clock to wake me up in the mornings. So I'm quite comfortable in here.
For the ordinary soldiers, life on tour has its plus points, along with quite a few minuses, compared to what's available back at their home bases in Britain or Germany. Private Katie Mercer, also known as Bubbles, works in admin in the multinational division's headquarters. She's 21 and is normally based in Germany.
You're not allowed out of camp unless you've got an escort, and whereas I'm in Gütersloh, you can just go into town every day after work, but here you're confined to camp and you're stuck with everyone for 24 hours, so you can't really get away from everyone because all the living quarters is close proximity to each other as well, so it's not like you can get away. These 2 rows are all female, and then the other 6 rows back there are all male.
And they're not allowed to mix?
No. Males aren't allowed in the female accommodation and vice versa.
And what would happen if they got caught?
You're in front of the CO because it's on orders that you're not allowed to mix in with the... During the day, it's not too bad, but you're talking after 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock when you're up in the male accommodation. So that's when they look at you a bit funny and you can get in trouble for it.
Yeah. Even though you might not be doing anything.
Yeah, even if you're just watching a video, they still write out.
I mean, do they tend to get sort of quite friendly or even sort of fall for people when they're out here?
Yeah, there's a few relationships on camp, but obviously I haven't been caught, otherwise I'd be in trouble. But yeah, there's a few relationships because you're close together for the 6 months. I mean, 6 months is a long time. Obviously, be away from home as well. So.
So you're not. But so if somebody. But what if they wanted to just go out with them, sort of quite, like a boyfriend?
Fraternising isn't allowed.
Really? Well, even if they didn't have sex, they couldn't sort of go out to be seen as a couple together.
Well, you can, but kissing in like Ecos or Tommy Tucker's is going to look a bit dodgy. So I don't think people don't do it. I haven't seen it for the past 6 months anyway. You're thrown into a situation that if people do have a relationship together, it's not going to be true, is it? Because you're in a situation that you wouldn't normally be in. So no, I would do it. There's a few nice people around.
But what about the guys? Don't they get frustrated? Like if they're away for 6 months? Or...
Well, I'm assuming that they do, but...
There is a lot to do if people want to do it. I do calligraphy in the evenings. I've got about 5 or 6 names. That's enough to be able to do calligraphy for an hour, once a week. We've got cooking coming up. We've got Serbo-Croat. We've got CLATE courses, computer literacy and information technology. And we've just had another class, and it's called beer and wine making, where there's about 600 people that's actually asked to attend that. This is inside the metal factory.
Pretty big.
It's very big, but it's grim as well and gets very, very cold in the winter. And there again gets very warm in the summer, but a bit grim, a lot of dust and crap about.
As the soldiers are restricted to base, they need facilities to keep them busy. 5-a-side football, tennis, basketball, even a mobile cinema.
And it's a wonderful facility. You can get about 80 people there watching films, and there's 4 films on every day. Good facility.
You don't think they're too spoiled?
I don't think they're spoiled at all. They come over here for 6 months. We need them to be able to enjoy themselves a little. 6 months is a long time being away. I know, I've done a few of them.
People get homesick sometimes.
Now, you only get homesick when you're at school, when you're at boarding school. No, some people obviously get homesick. They miss their wives, children, mums, dads. But it's rather like boarding school. After you've been back about 2 or 3 days, you get stuck into it and just carry on until you come back home again.
At Manyaka, the EOD team has reached the climax of the day. After hours of painstaking preparation, they're ready for the big bang.
I can feel the bang coming.
Is it going to go off, you think?
Hope so, because if it doesn't, it'll cost me a crate of beer, so...
A crate of beer?
Yeah.
Well, you have to buy a crate of beer if you mess it up?
Yeah. If it doesn't go off, then it's going to cost me a crate, so it's in my interest for it to go off, or else I'm going to be out sort of 20 quid. Stand by! Firing! Now! Guess he's not getting the beers in.
Well done, Paddy. This way, Shoot, go on.
Okay, after this song, the next singer will be Jill.
Talking of beer, it's Saturday on base. The Brigadier has brought in a new rule limiting alcohol consumption, and it's really unpopular. Some of the soldiers feel they could enjoy themselves a whole lot more if the rule was relaxed.
When you've had a hard week and you want to go for a drink, 2 cans just bluntly ain't enough. I mean, if you're not going out there to get paralytic and jump off buildings and cause havoc, but 2 cans is not enough. I mean, the first can doesn't even touch the side, as anybody will know, after a week, so... No, I don't. I think it's good. It's okay during the week because people have got work Monday to Friday. But Sunday is a day off for everybody here, so I think the powers to be should maybe relax it just on a Saturday night.
And what's the morale like here?
I'm still trying to find it. If anybody can get me a map, I'll go and find it. I mean, it is probably one of the worst I've seen here for a while. But that's just because I think it's just because of 2-can rule. When you think about it, it's quite sad, really. There must be a camp full of alcoholics if they get upset because they can't have more than 2 beers a night. But, no, I mean, you just make your own morale here, really.
It was a lot better when we had more than 2 cans because it's gone down to a 2-can rule now. You're only allowed 2 cans, you get a ration card, and 2 cans, it gets marked off on the ration card. When it wasn't, everyone was up singing. Karaoke was a really good night, it was fun.
And now what, they're a bit inhibited, aren't they?
A little bit, because most people won't want to sing because they haven't had like any alcohol. But I'm on Tizer at the moment. I'm doing all right.
Time to go home and hand over to Jack. He's here for 6 months. Yeah, it's time to go home. 10 months is long enough, I think.
Before leaving, Bob gives his successor a tour of his area of responsibility.
You've obviously seen Bob in action, have you, this week?
I have, yes. Yes. Tough act to follow, I'm sure.
Easy. It's going to be easy.
What's the most difficult thing, do you think, you've had to deal with while you've been here?
Trying to catch the odd 1 or 2 out that sort of exchange curry mix or has a party with alcohol in their curry mix. They must know I'm coming because every time I seem to go down there, it's all clear. Every time the brigadier seems to run round, he seems to catch them. I don't know why, but there you go.
But it's almost the end really now, isn't it?
It's never the end until we get on that plane, or we step off the other side. And then it's another beginning, of course.
Colonel Bob will be a hard act to follow, but it's time for him to say goodbye to his diplomatic duties, dealing with soldiers under the pressure of being away from home, as well as solving international disputes over yogurt pots and meal times.